So boom. So my next question to you is, how do you think of, as a Madrid fan, how do you think about, the new system that's in place with the new coach and the coaching staff and the whole dynamic of Madrid? Like, what do you think about it as a Madrid fan?
I mean, I'm excited. I sat through last season and it was just frustrating to watch Real Madrid last season.
Bro.
You could put anyone on the field, but I always feel like big teams, big clubs, like sometimes it's the littlest difference that change, right? And Carlo did so much for like Real Madrid,
Right.
and he's like the kind of a coach where he's a player's coach. Carlo's always gonna go to bat for you, and if you ever played anything, you love a coach like that. And our team was basically very young, and young players need a coach like that.
Right.
And I think that in order for like certain players like Camavinga, I would even say Jude, Vini, to kind of like level up and just like go from strength to strength, they need somebody to help them tactically. I think Camavinga would do amazing with like a coach that's going to actually put him in tactically in places where he could succeed, because he's a beast.
Right.
So like I'm really excited to see what actual formation is, because like we don't know. We haven't seen a game underneath him. We haven't seen him done anything. I've just been looking at like the training videos and stuff like that, and you can even see in the training videos it's so much different, right? Like
the intensity.
The intensity, but also too like the players are not happy, and because they get burned out,
right?
And that's what we want to do. We want to see that.
At a club like Real Madrid, you need those type of like energy though. Like I seen a report saying, he mentioned to players, if you don't run, you will not play.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is true. That's what we need exactly in a team like Real Madrid right now. Like where there's so-called superstars. Like we gotta play football. This is Real Madrid. You get what I mean? And last season, like you mentioned, right? It was a disaster, bro. So we don't wanna like experience the same thing again. Especially being Real Madrid, you know how we are. The royalty of the football empire. Vintage beyond valuation, beyond forgery or imitation. So you get me?
I get you.
Exactly. So we need those type of energy. What do you think? The players are not happy, so.
Yeah. I could be here all day talking about what I expect or what we want to see or how everyone wants, like what we all want to see. I just want to even reference, his presentation when he talked about how he wants the team to play. It even comes from a place where you're even a fan.
Right.
Just sometimes we forget that these coaches are also like fans.
Right.
Like he's a club legend, and he knows the expectations that we want and what we want to see. Clearly a proper coach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like undefeated for somebody like Leverkusen. If he can come and translate 50% of what he's did or turn around in Leverkusen here, that's good step in direction. I want to also be realistic that to change the way someone plays after a team has been together for like 3-4 years playing the same way, we need to give some bit of time to adapt, right?
That was my next questions anyway. Like, what do you expect? Do you expect them to like do exactly what he did at Bayer Leverkusen in his first season? That was my next question. Because I feel like a lot of Madrid fans are expecting that. Like, just come out and just dominate off rip. First of all, we got to get the system together. We got to get the structure together. So that's what I'm saying. I like this training sessions right now, how he's going about it, and he's involved in the training sessions, which tells you a lot. And I like that. He reminds me of Zidane. Like, you know what I mean? I like when coaches are part of the training session.
Right.
I like it.
I would say some things that I want to see.
Yeah.
For sure, absolutely. Speed of play, faster. One of the most frustrating things you would see last year specifically, but it wasn't just last year. It's that the team lacked so much ideas. There was nobody running beyond the ball. It was just kind of like, hero ball, if you want to
Right.
call it. You pass me the ball, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with it. And like
You
it's a
are
team-
relying on like
yeah,
individual talent too
it's a
much.
team sport at the end of the day.
Right.
And me, as if I'm your opponent, and I realize it's just like y'all don't have a system. That's so easier to defend. It's so easy to defend. What I do see based on like who the club wants to bring in, I think bringing in more left footers that could actually stretch the pitch.
Right.
That gives more space to the midfield, and that creating more space means that is moving more in between lines.
Right.
And I think we weren't as strong as we needed to do in the middle of the pitch either, right? We missed Tony Cruz. People love to talk about that, but one of the biggest things that we forget is that Tony Cruz was there as someone to help transmit what the team needed to do. That lack of organization on the field, on the pitch, you saw it, right? And that's why you have a lot of like Madrid starting last year, even though he didn't really have the legs. It's because Madrid was helping set the play up, set people needed to know where they needed to be, and you could see that that's where his focus is, organizational wise, where we need to be on the pitch, where we need to be in possession and out of possession. And I think coaching these things is one part. Now it becoming like second nature is where we're gonna get it later down the line. I expect the team to have like a full implemented adaptation by January. Right? It's gonna be a little bit of a struggle, but I think bringing in like Franco and then extending Brahim, which are all left footers, a left footer attacker, then you can stretch the field on both ends, on the right and the left, and then you invert your wing backs. Trent could play through the middle, then you can have him go out wide. Then you have like whoever's on, if it's Brahim, if it's Franco, if it's whoever, come in and tuck it inside in between the lines. And that's just going to create more chance creation because even though last year we tried to play on the right a lot, I didn't think that everybody was aligned on what's going on, right? Like if I'm setting up and I'm thinking like, okay, everything that's going to come down the right-hand side, all right, I'm just bringing everybody close to space.
Literally,
but when the ball is moving and circulating really fast and changing a point of reference continuously, that just makes it very hard to defend against, especially in La Liga where there's a lot of like deep blocks, where there's like 10 people in front of the ball. We've struggled with deep blocks because we don't have an actual plan about how to break down deep blocks. We have people that are just spamming corners, Lucas Vasquez, spamming corners. And I mean, have you ever seen Kylian Mbappe score a header?
Nah.
All right.
Nah.
So that to me doesn't seem like a game plan. Like, and that's just an example. I'm not here to talk about...
Courtois said something like that, right? That we don't even have Oselu anymore for us to be crushing the ball.
Yeah, but
like,
we have strong people who can header the ball. You think we have Rudiger, you have Jude, you have Tchouaméni, really good people, but there was no plan to take advantage of these guys' characteristics, right?
Listen.
So, like, what do you do? Right, and this is not me blaming Ancelotti, because Ancelotti, I'm sure he asked for certain things.
I mean, you're not blaming him. You're calling it for what it is.
Absolutely. I think, and that's where the excitement comes from, right? We could start the season and we could start off like hot, like and then.
And I like what you said, Xabi Alonso in the interview. I want people to watch Real Madrid and be able to say, "Wow."
That's who I
exactly.
support,
And I feel like I kind of like we get a glimpse of it through the training sessions. But I mean, because right now, man, it's headline, man. Everybody talking about it.
I can say that I grew up, like watching Real Madrid play, right? And like we could talk about Marcelo. But I can even go a little bit back, We've always had entertaining style of play.
Exactly.
It might not have always brought trophies. You can talk about the first Galacto area, but we always had a way that we wanted to play, right? Coaches got fired because we didn't have a way of playing. And, some of the hardest things to hear in press conferences that we need to suffer. Like, I'm suffering enough. I'm watching football to not suffer. I'm sorry, but I'm not with the suffering. Yes, there's moments in a game that you can suffer or your back is against the wall, but too many times with the players that we have and the characteristics, they're not being like
a little decisive. They're not
it's just not effective. And you know that saying, if you fail to prepare to fail. Right. So I think preparation wasn't there, and obviously we've been bad lucky with injuries. But year before we were bad lucky with injuries, and we took home 2 titles.
Yeah.
Right.
Literally.
So I'm excited to see what comes next. You know, that game tomorrow. It's with a proper team. So
Al Hilal. So we playing Al Hilal. You know, they got a couple of experienced players throughout. You know, that play in Europe.
Yeah. So my question to you, what do you want to see, right, from that game? Like, what are some of the takeaways that you want to see the team play? If it's like, what do you want to see?
Me, like
first game.
Like we just discussed, right? I mean, my expectation for Xabi Alonso is massive. It's high. But again, this is the first game.
Right.
So I want to wait to see like how he's going to put the team together and how he's going to implement his tactical things into the team and how we're going to play. Because right now, from last season, we suffered a lot, bro. There was no structure, and I was tired of people in my comments telling me, yo, Ancelotti is the problem, this time and third. Yes, the coach, when things don't go right, the coach get the blame. We all know that.
Sure.
This is football. That's the nature of football. We get it. But what I want to see from tomorrow, how the new players going to play. You know, how they, right now, I feel like they're all on the same level because it's new coach, new players. So let's start from, you know, ground zero.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put all of them on the same page and see how the team is going to play from there. Let's not underestimate. This is Al Hilal, the champions of, you know, I mean, not champions right now, but they've been.
It's a proper team. It's a proper team.
It's a proper team with players that have experience of European football. You get what I mean?
And I keep saying this, you know, some people will talk about it as a glorified, friendly, and they're trying to get to play as well. What I mean? But there's a lot of money.
There's a lot of money on the line.
A lot of money.
And I feel like a lot of teams are playing because of the money.
Yeah.
To be honest. To be frank, literally.
125 million.
And I see something, they said 1 billion, but I don't believe that. 1 billion?
They invested $1 billion in everything.
Look at that, man.
All right, well, I mean, with all the games that we have FIFA playing, they better invest some type of money in this, right?
Course. Look, the trophies. Look at the trophy, man. Yeah. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, I'd love to see... I mean, and the games has been good.
The games,
the games has been good.
Entertaining, yeah.
You know, Bayern kind of wiped away
I mean, that
a team of 10, but, you know, for all you Atleti fans, they hold that L.
Again, PSG display why they are the champions of Europe. You get me?
Know what I'm saying?
On some big man level thing, yeah? You get me? So, but yo, we gonna do to the time, we gonna stop here.